So hello again YouTube, welcome to my channel. What I'm gonna do today is a quick review on the new Lemfo LES 1. Now this is a brand new watch. Reason why I feel like making a video is there's not many out at the moment during this recording, so I thought it would be good for me to share what I think about this watch. Now if you want to look at some other reviews, which I really ran through a couple, and a lot of them are telling a lot of good stuff about the Lemfo. Now I'm not here to bash these Chinese Android luxury watch alternatives, but I'm here to just share my insight and what I think about this watch after using it for about a week now. So if you are here and watching this video, you probably already heard and know a little bit about this watch, I would assume. So it comes in this black watch. If you have any other Lemfo watches, you should see something similar. It's just a very ordinary black box with the word Lemfo on it, and you won't be able to tell what model you have if you're just looking at the box. Now opening the box, you will see the watch sitting up here with plastic protector over the screen. I already took that off. I already have the watch out. Now underneath the foam you will see a card, cut a piece of cardboard, just a black one. It's just to hold the watch in place. More foam. So what you get actually is a charger, so one of these chargers, and a USB cable in the box as well, which I already took out. Now I ordered two of these chargers when I bought it, so I have one at home, which is this one, and I have another one in office where I use it on my office desk to charge the watch when I'm in office. Now it comes with one of these screwdrivers and two tiny little screws, as you can see. Alright, so very interesting kind of screwdriver, have both ends, very tiny, very tiny. Now you probably already know, but I will show you what it does in a little bit. So you get a manual. I'm not going to run through this, but if you look at the manual here, it has a SIM tray, which is what the screwdriver is for. You basically pop the screw and you put in your SIM card. So quick start guide, if you want to see this, I don't know, just do a quick run through. You can pause it if you want. Basically standard stuff. I think if you have owned one of these Chinese watches before, it should be the same. Okay. I'm just gonna clear this up quickly so I make some room for the watch to pop in frame. Now you are really here for this guy. Alright, so this is the star, if my camera wants to focus. Okay, so exterior wise, this is quite a basic kind of watch, but keeping it basic really gives it a very elegant kind of look. It's a metal body, like right here. This portion ring of the watch is metal, and as you can see already, there is a camera on the side. This is the microphone, the camera, and also a power button for you to kickstart the watch. Okay, this is a silicone band and with a metal tip This one is metal as well. Silicone band, very nice, soft, flexible one. And on this side of the watch, which is the left hand side of the watch, you can see the speaker grill. Come on. Okay, so you can see the speaker grill there. So if I power it up, you can see that it has a very nice AMOLED screen. Okay, so what I've basically done to this watch already is to install a new launcher on this guy, and basically able to install new watch faces, and you can see that the interface is slightly different. If you've seen other reviews, you can see that, you know, it's slightly different from the original. And honestly, I think that it is a little bit better right now with this interface. Okay, so I don't know if I have to run through the step by step on how to use it, but what is the same from the original is if you swipe from left to right, you will get the notification. So this is the same as the original. You swipe from right to left again, you go to the clock face. You go from right to left again, you go into the menu where you get all sorts of things, all the apps that you have installed, and you can apps that you can use for anything. So I have already installed some of the apps, and some of the apps comes together alongside with the watch. Okay, so as you can see, so this watch has 16 gigs of storage space, which is one of the first smartwatches with a 16 gig available storage. Okay, as you can see here, so most of the watches, there are new ones coming out today that's going to come with a 16 gig, but this is one of the first watches with a 16 gig memory. Okay, so I basically got this watch after looking at the reviews from Mr. Smartwatch Tics YouTube channel. I'm going to link it in the notes down below. And after viewing all and understanding what I am getting myself into, what I have going to be spending money on, I understand the pros and cons and what this watch basically can or cannot do, and I clearly understood what I bought into. Now this is going to cost about 100 USD depending on where you come from. I'm from Malaysia. I was not able to get this watch locally. I had a friend went to China and went to Shenzhen, China, to get this watch directly from the factory, because what I heard is it's running out of stock worldwide. It's selling like a hotcake right now. Everyone wants a bite of this new Android watch. And so there is a lot of good things mentioned in other reviews. If you have seen other reviews, you should know by now that, you know, it's a good watch, AMOLED display, very bright, very crisp, awesome looking, very well built, very robust. But things that is not mentioned in other reviews is battery life. Now I know why it's not mentioned, because it's one of the biggest issues with this kind of watches. Now using it for a week, I think for the first week I'm extremely busy with this watch, playing around with the watch skins. I have tons and tons of watch skins installed in this watch, as you can see, and some of them are really great, and as you can see here, there are some bugs. You know, it's not perfect. It's an Android watch, it's not perfect, it has issues, but things that, you know, I think I can live with, you know. So I've been playing around a lot with this watch, and just going about everything, messing around with all the stuff, and I can say that battery life is really one of the weakest points. It can probably take you through 6 to 8 hours of battery power throughout the day. Usually you will find yourself wanting to charge it up again somewhere in the evening. Okay, so this is one of the very sweet watch faces. If you're a 90s kid, you should know Knight Rider, and this is one very beautiful face. Plenty more. I'm trying not to get okay. This one, it's really interesting. So it basically looks like someone's skin and arm, and if you wear it on your hand, people are going to question like, wow, that looks like a transparent watch. And I showed this to my wife, and she was like, wow, how did you do that? It's really funny, but it looks really cool as well at the same time. So I know that the other watches, the bigger brands like the Samsung Gear S3 has very good battery life, probably about a day or two. And I know that some of the big brands like the Motorola 360 and stuff like that has not so good battery life as well. So it really depends on how you are using it. The main reason why I got this watch is because I want to receive notifications on the watch from my phone, so that in a meeting I know what kind of notification or messages that I'm receiving from my phone, and I don't have to pull out my phone, stare at my phone in a meeting or in office sometimes. And this works for me. But if you want to make phone calls using this phone, you are probably going to be disappointed, because right now today there isn't a capability to use this phone to make phone calls. So phone calls tethered through your phone, that is what I mean. You are still able to make phone calls from this watch itself, because again it holds a SIM card at the back, so you can see. So you can pop this cover open, pop a SIM card inside, and it basically will act as a standalone phone. It's running Android 5.1. You can use that. I've never really bothered using that. I don't think the battery is gonna hold up if you pop a SIM card in it. It comes with the pedometer. It does work. I haven't tested how accurate it is. My wife has a Fitbit. I'll probably run some tests to see how accurate it is. Now these are the pins, the magnetic pins that will be lined up for charging, and it works really well. I have no issues with these kind of pins. There are magnets built into the back case, so when you put on the charger, it magnetically aligns it. Really good. I have no issues with that. I think it has come a long way. I know that earlier watches, Chinese watches, will have a USB plug on the side where you have to flip up a silicone case and put the USB into it to charge. Well, there are benefits using that, because you can charge that in a car, and on the go, whereas it's proprietary to a charging dock. So these are things that you probably all have to consider when buying the watches. I recommend getting multiple chargers like I did, and you will have to negotiate with the seller that you are buying from and see if they are able to provide you with the additional charges. So when you leave your hands, it does show the time and everything, but I don't really like this watch pop-up face when you see that, and there's no way of changing that clock, and that clock is basically the same clock you will see on every other watches, be it from Kingwear, number one, multiple different brands, I think Fine Now as well. You will see that they're using similar engines, similar clocks and everything. Okay, so right out the box, if you got this right out of the box, some of these watch faces will not work. So there's a whole elaborate discussion on the watch faces. What kind of watch face does this kind of watches support, what kind of things that it doesn't, and what are the tweaks you can do to make it work. Now, I've been through hours, on forums, which I can probably link below. So take time, read the forums, look at other people's reviews and see how they spend a lot of time to make sure all these things work out. Now the issues that you will see is, and I find that it's never shown on YouTube, and it's really hard for me to show it right now because I got it all set up to work. If you want to see the issues or the bugs when it comes right out of the box, please let me know. I'll probably do a video on that as well. And if you want to know how to do a setup for your watches, if you got one, let me know, shout out, and I will probably do a video on showing you how to set up and make it work. Right now I'm not going to do it, okay, just in interest of time. But it's very technical and elaborate process to want to make everything work. There are guys in the XDA forum who already did a lot of effort trying to make all this work, and as you can see, they have done a very good job. All these watch faces are really pretty, and I have like handpicked all of these really pretty ones. I think it's really beautiful, and really credits to all the developers who put in all the time and effort to work on all these watches. And I really adore, and one of the reasons why I got a smartwatch is I can play around with all these things, and you can see how elaborate all this thing goes. So the basics are there, but the things that you can't do is don't think I can demonstrate it right now. But when you receive a notification, you will get it on the side, on the notification panel, but this notification panel basically will just tell you that you have one message from who, but you are not able to swipe down and expand the message and read the entire message or notification. You only get to read a portion of the notification. Now, I understand some people will argue that yeah, that's how notification works, but I would like to have the option to read the entire message on the screen of my watch. I can't do that. I can't do that with this watch. I'm not sure if the other tethering watches are able to do that. So there will be an option for you to open up the message, but it's going to open up from your phone, and you will have to open up your phone to read the entire message or images or messages. So it's really a shame, because this watch is really powerful. It's running on Android 5.1 as well, and it should be able to do that, okay, but it doesn't. But what it's able to do is a lot more, something else. The basic calendar, tasks and everything. It has Google Play Store, so it does your Spotify, it does your health, pedometer, walk-in steps, and heart rate sensor as well. No issues with that. Tested, all working well. Your calories and your steps, so all this. And it's water resistant, so you can probably take this out on a jog. Is it able to replace your expensive Garmin or Sunto? I don't know. I think those other real fitness watches has other fitness capabilities as well, but this one really covers the basics already. Would I use this for a run and everything? Of course, you know, why not? You know, it's cheap and it does the job, but I will probably not use this for a heavy workout and stuff like that. So a lot of good things. Really happy with this watch. It's really sweet, but again, I think the biggest holdback is the battery life, which I find that a lot of reviewers do not touch about. This is something that you really have to bear in mind if you're really ready to invest in a watch like this. Okay, this is something that will not be shared. I am not sponsored. I bought this watch myself. I don't have to say good things, right? So if you are looking at buying this watch, be prepared in terms of the battery life. There are things that you cannot do with this watch, because most of the time you need to think of power conservation, which is a necessity. I tried installing the Always Now application on this watch to constantly display, because it's running a AMOLED screen. I want it to constantly display the time, at least on the surface of the watch, on the screen of the watch, but that just kills the battery, really kills the battery really fast, and that cannot be done. Now that is not an option, I think, so I have to remove it. So if you have a watch with 16 gig memories, what are you going to do? Now I'm very interested to know in what are you going to do if you have a watch like this. Most smartwatches has about 8 gig for the most part today. Even for the luxury watches, bigger brands, it's only probably going to go up to about 4 to 8 gig of storage memory. This one has 1 gigs of RAM and 16 gigs of memory. Other than storing music and some videos, which is not advisable, you don't want to view videos on such a small screen, but music goes really well. I'm not sure if I have anything here, but yeah, I'm not gonna play it. Other than music and photos, which is very good because you have a camera. Other than that, what do you use it for? I would really like to know what you guys would use it for if you have a smartwatch like this. Now bear in mind that this smartwatch, you're not able to make calls, and you can't receive phone calls from your phone with this watch, and you cannot read full messages from this watch. When you open up the notification, it fires up the application, for example WhatsApp or a message. It fires up the message on your phone, so you won't be able to read the full message from this watch itself. That is really unfortunate. So you can see there are some functions you can play around. I really like this watch, I really do. Now this is a very sweet application we can install. It's a watch face. You can see that this top left needle basically tells the time, and if you click on it, it goes to stopwatch. CD, I have no idea what that is. AL is alarm, WT is world time. So you have some options with that. And how it functions is, if you tap on the middle of the screen, it comes up an options, and if you tap this guy here, you can see A, B, C, D and set. Okay, so The watch face is separate into different areas of the screen where you touch it, and it's buttons on the screen that does different functions. So I find it's really cool. So you can touch A and B, which is the menu, to change the menu, and C is to start the stopwatch, stop the stopwatch, and D is to reset. Really cool. So you can change it to night mode or day mode, as you can see here. So this is a day mode. It's a lot brighter. Just a lot of things in terms of telling the time that this does extremely well. Going back to the main menu again, I really want to know what else you guys do with it. It has a browser, which it works. I tested it and it works. If you want to see how well it works, right now you can see the Bluetooth is on. It's tethered to my phone. I put it on airplane mode so it doesn't try to reach for cellular network, because I don't have a SIM card in it. Okay, so it has a browser which pretty much works. As you can see, I used it once in a while, but it's very hard to type, not the best. It has contacts, but again, even connected to my phone, it doesn't pull the contact from my phone. This is a contact list that is standalone. If you were to put in a SIM card on this watch, it will be able to hold contacts and make phone calls as you would a normal Android phone. I have no music inside just yet. So yeah, so what I think, for the price of 100 USD, it's pricey. There are cheaper watches, but understand that those cheaper watches are not running on Android. This is one of those guys that is running on Android, and usually Android watches cost around this price, of the sweet spot of about 80 to 100 US dollars. It's very well built. I think this guy will be able to last if you take care of the battery. Now, battery is one of the main issues or the downsides of this watch. It is a very sweet watch and everything, but it's really powerful, but you do not have the battery life to make full use or full capacity of this watch. And I believe that's the same for a lot of other brands as well, bigger brands especially as well. So what do you want this watch for, and what do you use it for? Again, this is one of the rare watches with 16 gig memory. So this is a big one. This is big storage, huge RAM, 1 gig RAM. It runs really well, really smooth. You can play games on it, which I'm not gonna do. You know, what other creative things will you do with it? Let me know in comments below. You know, and also if you would like to know how to set up, if any one of you have a LES1 like I do, and there are no instructions on how to set up clock faces and stuff like that, and you find it difficult, hit me up in the comments and I'll make one video on showing how to do that. Okay, so should you buy one? Well, it depends on your kind of budget and the things that you want to do. It's a very powerful watch, but it's very limited in its capabilities right now because it's not Android Wear. If you are confused if this is Android Wear and Android 5.1, you really need to do a bit more study and know what you're getting into, because this is not Android Wear. And if you have someone who is running a Motorola 360 or a Huawei watch or LG or something. This is not a similar watch as to that. Okay, there are things that this cannot do, then there are things that this can do that the other Android Wear watches cannot do. But the Android Wear has better applications, better optimization of apps, better developers and stuff like that. This is a very new market. If you are willing to tinker around, learn up new stuff, go into forums and read up, this is the watch for you. If you are just buying a watch and just want to use it, don't want to crack your head around stuff, this might not be the one for you. Okay, again, hit me up if you have any other questions about this watch, and I'll do my best to answer and provide more information. Okay. Hey, I didn't say okay Google. What's up with that? Alright, sweet. See you again. I'll see you guys again next time. Bye.